Back here on Titans Talk, and we head back to the phone lines. Kevin waited through the break. Kevin, good evening. Welcome to Titans Talk.
Good to meet you, sir. Before I even get started, I want to just make one comment. That was an amazing tribute to Mark Howard last week. I don't know who put that together or who produced it, but it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thanks. He deserved it.
Let's get to the game. Opening day with the Titans is always something very interesting. Last year, obviously, that was a catastrophe, but I don't know if this was necessarily a catastrophe, but you could tell they were rusty, and it was obvious. They opened up the game, I thought, extremely well. They went down the field, opening drive, maybe 5-minute drive, I think, to score the touchdown.
Five plays. 5 plays.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And as far as personnel goes, Hilliard, man, he is a smart receiver. He knows his presence on the field and his awareness. And Westbrook Aquino over the middle, man, that guy got some cojones, man, because he got set up to take some good shots. I'm glad he made it through the game. Early in the game, there was I think maybe early in the second half, there was a huge turnover with like 10 to go. Giants had a lot of momentum going, so I was glad to see that turnover. That kind of knocked them down a little bit. It's also good to see Hollister get in the game, which is kind of rare. He doesn't get a whole lot of touches. I think they should look to what he contributed to yesterday and maybe try and put him in the game a little more. You commented on that Wildcat. I'm not sure why they did that in the beginning of the third quarter. That made no sense to me, especially since you were mentioning that the Beast hasn't even practiced with the team, taking snaps, live snaps. He was just conditioning, basically. So, I mean, he did mishandle the snap, and it was just bad after that. I was shocked to hear so many Giants fans in the stands. That kind of took me aback that Titans man couldn't show up and buy those tickets. But more power to the Giants, and give their coaching staff some credit. They made some adjustments at halftime and came out and did what a coaching staff is supposed to do. You make changes, you adapt, and you look and see what they presented you, and you make your changes. The second half penalties were a killer for the Titans. I think they just might have lost their focus a little bit. And the 2-point conversion, I've seen plenty of teams do that. I think Vrabel might have even done that in that position had the tables been turned on the road. And Simmons, my goodness, is that guy a beast among puppies?
Monster.
He is just a monster. A monster. I'm going to get off here and let other people have a chance to comment. It's always good to talk to you, Steve. I hope you have a wonderful evening. God bless.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of good thoughts there. Jeff Simmons, man, he could have an absolutely monster year if he is able to stay healthy. He was everywhere yesterday against the run, against the pass, hitting the quarterback, sacking the quarterback, tackles for loss in the run game. He was absolutely fantastic. And it's a reason why I think this defense should still be really good. But they've got to figure out whatever happened yesterday in the run game. It seemed yesterday that what you had is you had the defensive line led by Simmons getting some penetration against the run, but there was no one there to fill the space. The linebackers were still getting contacted in the second level. And there were chances to make tackles at the line of scrimmage, but if the defensive linemen or those guys up front didn't make that tackle, the linebackers didn't make many of them themselves. That's a problem. It may be a problem of coming through camp and you're not tackling it a lot, and so maybe you don't charge the block as hard as you need to, but it's something that they've got to get fixed because it was an issue yesterday for sure for this defense. But, man, we'll see. We'll see if they can bounce back with that. Another comment in there about the Giants fans. There were a fair amount of Giants fans there. And that's always going to happen in this town because especially teams like that, you don't get many opportunities to come to Nashville. As we've talked about a lot before on this program, this is a destination city. It's where people want to come and hang out for a weekend. And if you've got an NFL game with your favorite team playing in the city, why not come down to Nashville and hang out Thursday through Sunday or Friday through Monday or whatever and take in the game on Sunday afternoon? The Giants only play here once every 8 years. So this was their opportunity for the first time since 2014, and they took advantage. they were outnumbered by the Titans fans. It was way louder for the home team. Absolutely way louder for the home team yesterday. So it wasn't like some of the situations of way back yesteryear where you truly thought, man, this is almost 50-50, like it's a neutral site game. It was absolutely a Titans home game yesterday. But you did hear when the Giants played with some reckless abandon there down the stretch to try to win this game. You heard the Giants fans. They were loud. You could tell that there were a bunch of them who made the trip, and credit to Brian Dable and the Giants for making those types of plays. They came up with some plays that they had to on that 73-yard touchdown drive, the 4th and 1. I mean, they hadn't converted on 3rd down essentially the entire day. And they got a 3rd down conversion on that drive, and then they get a 4th and 1 conversion as Daniel Jones gets to the stick ahead of Danico Autry. And then they get down and they're able to punch it in on 2nd and goal, setting up a 2-point conversion. And Kevin, you're right. I think the Titans knew for a fact that the Giants were going to go. That was the expectation from everybody watching that game, that the Giants didn't want to be in overtime. They wanted to line up and go for it right then and try and win it on one play. And they had a really good play, and they got the ball in the hands of their best player. And the Titans were there for it. They had guys in position to make a play. But Dylan Cole missed the tackle. And Saquon Barkley was able to fight his way through Christian Fulton into the end zone. Cole has to lock him up. He's got to put him up right there and allow other guys to come over. Because Saquon Barkley is hard to bring down as a one-man guy, but you have to square him up in that position and allow other guys to come over and help you out. Instead, he whiffed, and then Fulton wasn't able to make a one-on-one tackle at the goal line, which you probably don't expect from a cornerback against an elite running back like Saquon Barkley is. And then you really heard the Giants fans because that was a huge play in the game. Missed opportunities, missed plays that could have been made for the Titans. Certainly something they're going to rue at the end of week 1. Take another break. We'll come back. More Titans talk on your way right after this.